Manor Lords, a strategy game that blends historical city building with real-time tactical combat set in the 14th century Franconia. A city builder, where you can build thriving towns by managing resources, supply chains, and trade, all the while facing down challenges like the weather, dwindling resources, and rival factions. But you're probably not here because you don't already know what Manor Lords is. You already know that it's a gridless, beautiful city building game that has what looks to be dynamic, large-scale battles as a unique element and challenge to growing organic settlements. Now, I've been playing for a long time, and I'm going to answer the question, is it worth playing in September 2025? When Manor Lords launched, it didn't just grab attention, it exploded. Over 1 million copies sold in the first day, tens of thousands playing at once, and a community that was instantly buzzing with screenshots, town layouts, and heated debates about sheep farming. You can see why. It is undeniably a beautiful game. But that's not what made it special. It wasn't just another city builder. It promised something fresh. A living medieval world, and if you know me, you will know that that is right up my alley, grounded in history and full of charm. Every house, every road, every villager was meant to feel part of a real settlement. And it was a technical feat as well. This wasn't work of a massive studio, it was almost entirely built by a solo developer who set up his own studio, Slavic Magic. Now, I'm a sucker for the underdog story, and that sense of one person's vision that competes with the giants of the industry, well, that sucks me right in. And it's not a gimmick either, because the real hook is how Manor Lords straddles two genres itself. On one hand, it's got that almost cozy but kind of gritty, atmospheric city builder where you can lose hours just watching smoke rise from the chimneys. And on the other side, it teases this grand tactical battles that feels straight out of Total War. And mixing those two genres on the same plate, well, that's unique. And that's why the hype and the expectations were so high. You know what? Forget about the past and don't worry about the future. It hasn't happened yet. Where are we today? Foundationally, Manor Lords is strong. The town building can be quite satisfying. The art direction is gorgeous. It nails that grounded, muddy, medieval atmosphere. It's a game that makes you feel like you're carving a settlement out of the wilderness, and that can be very satisfying. But look, it's still in early access. That's not a criticism, that's a fact. And the fact is that some of the gameplay feels thin. The progression is limited, and the combat is, in my opinion, less engaging and more repetitive. Personally, I don't worry about how quickly things get made, I wonder about how well they get made. If you're in the community and you're wondering what's going on with the momentum, you can check out their Discord. They're super active and they're posting all of the time. They're just getting on with it. And that's the reason that I'm making this video today, is because we're in a bit of a development lull. The calm before the storm, if you like, and the anticipation is surely building. There's a major update on its way, and it's just over the horizon. The truth is, we don't even know what the full scope of it is going to be. What we do know is that it's going to be quite large. An overhaul of the combat system and defences, plus major changes to the progression chains, and that could reshape the way that towns are developed from start to finish. But other than that, we don't really know what to expect, or even what flavour or shape that those things that we do know will take. So While things might feel quite quiet now, Manor Lords is certainly on the brink of some of its biggest changes yet. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been in this situation before, and that's why I think this moment matters. It's a chance to step back and look at what we've got right now and ask, is it still worth playing right now? Now, opinions are like dirty underwear. Everybody's got them and they all smell, but my opinion matters the most because I care about medieval games. If you, like me, love medieval world building, then Manor Lords makes complete sense. There are a few other medieval games out there that check all the boxes that it does, and I've played them all, but Manor Lords sticks out to me for one reason. And in my opinion, it's its atmosphere that leaves it unmatched. Because there are plenty of other games, like Foundation, for example, that would scratch the itch for medieval city building like no other. But when it comes to atmosphere, Manor Lords has it under lock and key. From the sound design to the lighting, Manor Lords really feels medieval. And it will draw you in as well, because it doesn't just stop at the atmosphere. Manor Lords also has some fundamentals that really hit the mark, like the settlement planning, for example. The road placement feels organic, and it's nice to have control over where the roads go, so you can build that perfect layout that you have in mind. And entering first person mode to walk those roads that you've built is really the icing on the cake. And the production chains, the ones that are implemented anyway, work smoothly enough to give you a satisfying rhythm of gathering and crafting and trade. But perhaps the most unique strength is something a little bit more intangible. You can't quite put your finger on it. It's this constant lingering threat of failure. Something that I imagine would have been quite real in medieval times. For if your supplies run out or the seasons turn against you, and one bad decision can send ripples throughout the entire town, and that looming risk gives the gameplay a tension that you don't always find in other city builders. If I compare it to a game like Banished, for example, the risk in Manor Lords is a tension with the player rather than min-maxing with a graph. Nowadays, these gameplay difficulty preferences can all be tweaked in your own personal preferences, and that can be seen in Manor Lords too with your game setup. So foundationally, it has it all, and you can have a really good time building, fighting, and having just the right amount of pushback to keep it interesting for you. That's not to say that there aren't criticisms. And the big one that I have, and bear with me, is it's not quite fun yet. If you're looking for a polished, grand strategy game with diplomacy, endgame variety, and perfectly tuned combat, then Manor Lords will get there, I'm sure of it. But if you want that now, you're going to hit a wall. Because once your town stabilises, the long-term challenge evaporates. You can continue to build, don't get me wrong, but the truth is, there's no variety in your build, and for me, that takes the fun out of it. The lack of variety in building types, missing mechanics, production chains, props to customize your environments all just make it feel a little bit hollow. Instead, it's got repetitive, busy work. Having to constantly rebuild or fight the same raiders over and over again isn't fun gameplay to me. I mean, it gets old after the 10th time. But one thing beyond that is that there's also a lack of events in the world. Villagers live, eat, work, but the world around them doesn't really throw up any surprises or stories other than the threat of being attacked again. And the diplomacy section is for you, it's not for them. This, for me, makes the setting feel a little ungrounded. Atmospheric, yes, but not in a meaningful narrative sense. Right now, I would say that it's a beautiful stage, but the play is still yet to be written. So, is Manor Lords worth playing right now? If you enjoy being part of a game's journey, watching it grow patch by patch and seeing your settlement evolve alongside the developer's vision, then yes, it's already worth your time. The bones are strong, the atmosphere is second to none, and the community around it is still buzzing with ideas and creations. But if you're looking for a complete package with deep systems, all talking to each other, a variety in buildings and events, and a truly polished gameplay loop, then we're not quite there yet. At times, the game feels like half systems waiting to click together. And that's why I'm excited for the next update. This lull we're in now is the calm before something major. Given Slavic Magic's track record, I'm sure it'll be worth the wait. Well, that's all from me. I hope you enjoyed my opinion. I've enjoyed sharing it, and feel free to share yours in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe and do all the YouTube stuff. And you can check out my other videos and come along for a medieval journey anytime. For now though, this has been Manor Lords, and I have been Lord Bara.